we're gonna do some kind of a introduction ourselves, you know.
Because we have a very lovely gentleman. I've known him for a few minutes, but I've got a good feeling about him. His name's Bastian.
I think Aurus. I trust him.
I trust him.
Yeah.
Welcome.
You shouldn't. No, I'm kidding.
We've made a mistake.
If you want to judge a book by its cover, how do we describe you? Your bling is a half-peeled banana.
Yeah, that's true.
It's one of the coolest necklaces I've ever seen, and I feel like it's important for the people listening in to know that
It's my favorite.
Tell us about what you've got hanging around your neck and where you picked that up.
Well, yeah, it's a banana that looks like really real. And I bought that in Sydney, actually. When I saw it, I was like, okay, that will be my favorite
You've got to replace
necklace.
it every day. How much?
No, it doesn't go bad. That's the good thing about this banana. Never goes bad.
Yeah. But if you get stuck on a desert island, you'd be so mad.
Yeah. you shouldn't eat that, though. So
yeah, I don't know. You get a Sharpie and just kind of draw a little kind of textured face on there, like a
you can have a friend.
The Wilson banana type.
Yeah,
scenario.
that would be your friend banana.
Yeah,
sure.
And we've let in from that, which is what we're distracted by, because it is a disarmingly realistic looking banana peel with the banana in it. But we have you here firstly and foremost because you're playing here as part of the WOMAD Adelaide Festival.
Yeah.
And we're kind of keen to find a little bit about your journey as to getting to this place, and maybe you could start with some of the early memories of yourself and music and where you picked up your craft as you've developed it over these years.
So we're going back.
We're going back if you want to. If you want to go back.
No, we can't. I just don't want to be too long. But to make it short, well, I was born and raised in Reunion Island, which is a tiny French island in the Indian Ocean next to Mauritius, off the coast of Madagascar. And my grandfather on my father's side used to play music, well, more folkloric music and, traditional. And, I don't know, I've always loved music, and I started writing and composing, if I may say, when I was little. And then I started to take my first voice lessons and real music lessons when I was 22, but it was in Bordeaux, France. I started there in a school called Le Siam, and after I studied there, I just was, they employed me as a teacher as well. So I also have this hat of a vocal coach and a choir director. But then I focused on my music and stage, and I did a lot of performances on my own, but also with a band I've created, and also as backing vocals for international artists, national artists, and local artists from the island. And now, my main journey is with Aurus, which is my stage name, Aurus, and here I am in WOMAD.
How did you land on Aurus? Would you be able to describe the meaning behind the name?
Well, yeah. Actually, I released an EP back in 2015 under my name Bastien Picot. Mm-hmm. But I didn't really want to use that name because I think it conveys another message. It's one of those names that reminds people that you probably are doing French typical songs, which I am not. Nah. And so I was like, wrong message, but I didn't find the proper name then. And then when I released that album under the name Aurus, I took more time to figure out what I wanted to be called. And actually it was kind of like a message from above, if I may say, because the first song that I wrote from this album was kind of like coming from intuition. Because when I sing a melody, I just say gibberish, like whatever. And then sometimes there's a few words that stand out, and I just keep them and just move my way around what I want to say and just, rewrite that. And that very first song was about intuition, and the gibberish that I said was already working. And so the only thing that I did is just twist the chorus into Creole. I translated it into Creole because I wanted some Creole in it. And the other parts had sense, and it talks about Horus, Horus, from Egypt, this Egyptian god, and the eye of Horus is the symbol of intuition, of seeing things beyond matter. And to me, that's what music is. It's just something that you send, something that you receive, but you can't quite touch it. And there's many more symbols. The album is called Chimera, and Aurus is a chimera, the body of a man and the head of a falcon. So at some point I was like, okay, this is going to be Aurus, but since I'm not an Egyptian god, I didn't spell it the same. I was like, Aurus seems fine,
Yeah, it's good you've got that amount of modesty not to just go the full Horus.
I am a god.
Nah. Not an Egyptian god at all.
We can dream. Is it something that helps with, you were talking about the way that you write music being kind of like almost like a stream of consciousness, or just, letting music out? Is that something that helps with procrastination, being able to actually just throw the music out? Because I know for a lot of people it can be tough. You can struggle to write sometimes. Is it something that if you just get it all out there on the paper, then you've kind of started the progress and you can keep moving forward?
Well, yeah, I always write notes on my phone now, because, otherwise I just tend to forget my notebooks. So I'm like, this is a notebook I have always with me, and it's even in the cloud, so that's fine. I record memos. Every time I have an idea, I just, spit it out. I'm doing that, but sometimes when you just sit down and be like, yeah, I want to write something about that, and then nothing comes. And sometimes everything comes. So it seems like it doesn't really depend on you. But what I do, since I record everything, sometimes I just go back and open my drawers and see like, oh, I have that. And most of the time it's like years after or month after that I just go back to that, and then the rest flows. So sometimes even the smallest starting idea can, just set the fire of the whole song that will come afterwards. So yeah, I don't know. It's just streams, plural, because sometimes it's not like just one stream and then I'm good. That's a song. Let's drink a tea. No, it doesn't happen like that often.
It's so important to pick up on those ideas when they come to you as well, and have them to revisit later, because sometimes you don't have that inspiration. Yeah,
totally. And sometimes you need that. Well, sometimes I just connect things also. I have those, ideas that, back in, 10 years ago, I wrote this, and 5 years ago, I wrote that. And you're like, oh, they're connected,
like a little chimera.
Exactly. Like a chimera. Well, to me, music is in a way, something like that, my music is also like a chimera between like organic stuff and also electronic. So all kind of sounds, like sounds you really work on your computer, sounds like go and gather in nature, sounds, of the voice and voices and everything. There's also like a kind of chimerism. I don't know if that's a word, but
it is now.
I'll use it.
Lock it in.
Between, in the language, there is English. I've always been passionate about English, even though that's not my mother language at all. I learned it at school, and Creole, which is my mother language. And so, I don't know, those two have a great conversation together, even if they're not really connected. And so, yeah, within one song, I can jump from English to Creole, and yeah, that's another way to be a chimera, I guess.
Fantastic. You're going to be performing something a little bit different this weekend for the festival. You were saying before that you've teamed up with, was it the Aurora Ensemble?
Exactly.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit about how that is going to play out, or how you hope, these things always have a little element of unpredictability. But how do you hope it's going to, come together and translate on stage when you're playing tomorrow?
Tonight. Yeah,
okay.
9:45. We're also playing on Monday.
Yes.
Afternoon. I don't remember the exact time, but
cool.
Yeah, well, I'm really thrilled to see this collaboration come live. It's going to be the very first show we're going to play together. So I have the honor to have like three members of the Aurora Ensemble from Adelaide, which is a great vocal ensemble, and yeah, they're gonna do backing vocals. They even learned some Creole.
Amazing.
So I love that.
Up to the task.
And yeah, so it's just I've always been passionate about voices and especially like polyphony, So I really love to write vocal arrangements and
sorry, what was that? Polyphony?
Polyphony, yeah.
I actually don't know what that means. What is polyphony?
Polyphony is if you take the roots, poly is like many,
okay,
and phony is like voices, and polyphony is those practices of singing together. So you can find that in any genre, like gospel is polyphony because there's many voices coming together, many registers, and they become a chord or several chords, and just, I love that. And you can find that in different kind of music, traditional and non-traditional. And I'm passionate about that. And so to write vocal arrangements and then have people singing them and being able to hear them live, to me, that's a real treasure and a real present. So I'm really happy that this is gonna, happen tonight and on Monday on stage with those three amazing singers.
Is this something that you get the opportunity to do often? Sourcing, other singers from places that you tour and visit?
Not really. It's something that that I try to do. Something that I try to do as often as possible is work with different singers from other places. But I've done that in mainland France. But I think it's the very first time that I have this kind of collaboration, like in the country you're touring with people from that country, and just jump on the occasion, just enjoy it. Hopefully it's gonna turn great tonight.
That is completely the spirit of WOMAD too. Trying something new musicians, and challenging yourself as well.
Yeah, I love that about this place and this festival.
Is this you've played here before this year?
No, this is my first. It's a lot of firsts tonight.
Yeah.
First time in Adelaide, first time at WOMAD, first time with those three singers from Aurora Ensemble.
Yeah.
First time talking to you guys. Yeah, a lot of firsts tonight.
It feels
I'm
like...
So am I.
You feel like an old friend already. I went too corny, but it has been lovely chatting to you, and we're keen to check you out a little bit later tonight. Before we let you go, what's coming up for you in the future? Can people catch any new releases, anything like that?
Well, actually, I just released a new single a couple of days ago. It's called Filter Freak, so it's on every platform. People can follow me on social media like AURUS Aurus Music. And I've got a new EP coming up, and then one more, and then an album at the end of the year.
You've been busy.
So yeah, I've been busy, and I can't wait to show you, all of that new music. So yeah, follow me.
Yeah, we can't wait to see it.
What is a filter freak? Just before we let you go.
Well, filter freak is. I've heard this study saying that people, like young people, the younger generation, don't look at themselves in the mirror anymore. They look at them through their screens and mostly through the filters through Instagram. And I was like, whoa, wow, that's something new. And so it inspired me, Filter Freak, because I was like, oh, that's something we need to address, because the very image of you is different, is reshaped, because most of the time there's those filters. Some are funny, but some are like, making you like spotless and just wrinkless and just perfect skin. And, you know, that's a way of not embracing your own scars and your own identity. So, yeah, that inspired me to question that on Filter Freak.
Yeah, it's a tough one because then, I don't know. I use it sometimes because it'll get rid of
so do I, you know, I'm not, I don't want to condemn anyone, but
gets rid of the bags under
what bag? I don't see
stop
any.
it. I'm just covered in sunscreen.
I'm going to stick to looking vain the old fashioned way. Regular mirrors will do for me.
Yeah.
Full mirror selfie, that type of scenario.
Who is the god that looked at himself in the pond?
Oh, that's
Sisyphus? Or
Narcissus.
No,
Narcissus.
Narcissus, of course. Yeah, there we go.
Sisyphus went to the sun. I think.
If only he had filters, he would have been.
Well, that's another
mind
kind of
blown.
filter, though. You know, when you look yourself through the water, if you move the water, you look like. So, you know.
Okay, well, maybe look forward to the algae pond scum filter coming out from Aurus alongside all of these EPs now.
Well, yeah, I've got my own filter in Instagram now.
Do you?
So, yeah.
All right.
Because I used to wear this big golden headpiece, and now everyone can wear it on Instagram. So, I'm not totally against filters. I'm just questioning the society we live in.
We've got to post one of these to our Instagram now.
Yeah,
You
we're going to have to
got
find this
to.
filter and do
You
a quick
have to.
selfie. So you better catch that on Instagram shortly on the 3D page. But
Which is on the channel we're broadcasting from as well. We should mention that for listeners.
Yes. If
we
you
are at WOMAD.
if you are outside of South Australia where you can hear it on the FM frequency or not using the app, then jump onto the 3D Instagram as well.
And we have a whole bunch of interviews coming up. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure.
Cool. Thanks, Bastian. Let's jump into a track.